as a gentleman, he decided to withdraw because if he's really going to compete, he'll have to engage in stuff that does not maybe fit well with him. I think I've made this point severally. I basically quoting somebody who is a spokesperson for Alan, say Buabin Asamoah. And what made this point? People don't take it very seriously, but it's something that's worth remembering. That if you want to lead in the NPP, you must be prepared to do and say stupid things, essentially. And I think that in Alan's letter, his statement, he spoke about the dangerous path that the party has gotten onto, which is going to lead to its ruin, I think, or something to that effect. We are seeing that play out. But this has been a long time in coming. It didn't just start with the Flagbearership race. It started in, how far back do I go? I'll say that it started in 2012. Am I with you?
Yes.
I'll start from 2012.
Okay.
After Nana Akufo-Addo had lost to John Dramani Mahama in his second attempt to become president. And he knew from the tradition of the NPP, from its history, that he was practically finished. At that point, he had gone through 2 unsuccessful presidential campaigns. He had mortgaged all his personal assets, family property, gone into debt with all kinds of manufacturers. Because his political career was essentially dead. He required something drastic. So what did he do? First of all, starting with the orchestrated violence at Obrasport and other places, he tried to goad the government to come down hard so that he could incite a breakdown in law and order and generalized violence. But the government was very clever. They didn't fall for it. So after much huffing and puffing, they went to the Supreme Court. You remember?
Yes, famously.
With a fraudulent petition. They have spent their time. They have gone through all the polling areas in our country, and they have carefully selected those polling areas where John Mahama won. For the most part, you could say that there were non-Akan areas. And they searched for what is the term that we use for it? Errors. Yes, errors and irregularities, like polling, what is it, the returning officer not signing the return, stuff like that. Clerical errors, that kind of thing. I mean, we're all witnesses to this play out before the Supreme Court. We held our country hostage for close to a year. In the meantime, refused to legitimize the government. They did not show up at the swearing-in of the president. And they are doing all kinds of things in Parliament. But basically, Nana-Addo used this period to take over the party machine and to whip everybody into line. You have to support this fraudulent claim that he had been cheated and show up in court. And my friend Alan did that. You remember? So, but everybody who mattered in the NPP made sure that they appeared in court. That meant that they agreed with Nana-Addo that in fact he had been cheated. So that guaranteed that Nana-Addo would be the next logical person to be Flagbearer, right? And his political life was then assured.
You love Radio Gold.
But then he was not going to play the same old game with the party machinery. He would take it over by whatever means. So people were assaulted, they were brutalized. At every significant turn, he will arrange to be outside our jurisdiction, either in the UP or some other place. So people will be beaten up. They'll be, basically he took over the party machine. He removed party chair. He removed the party general secretary. I mean, all of this played out right before our eyes. He took over the party. From then on, anybody who dared to go against him was essentially dead politically. There was no place in the party for dissent. And he waged a phenomenal campaign. That insurgency, I'll call it a tsunami of corn and life, took out the NDC in a massive wave in 2016. Now, the NPP, I'm sure you will hear people say today that, it is, they have been accused of being an account party. Right? Am I with you?
Listening attentively.
Yeah.
Okay. Your name.
Yeah, they claim that they've been accused of an account party. The NPP really started life as an Asante party, the National Liberation Movement. It was for issues of Asante man. And they had a different take on, from their formation in 1954, on the basis of a fatwa, or the invocation of the great oath of Asante, which made it treason. Mark my words, it made it treason for any Asante youth to belong to the CPP. I said that we should start from 2012, right? But now here I am talking about the beginnings of the NLM in 1954. And what was the principal beef of Asante in decreeing that the Asante youth, who made up the most trenchant militant part of the CPP youth, should leave the CPP or be declared traitors to Asante? So you had people like Victor Wusu, Joe Appiah, what is this guy? This Asamoah? Yes. Sorry, R.R. Afonso. All the were forced in the CPP. Why? Because Nkrumah was pursuing a path of creating SD tribalized youth and country. Now, many of these things we don't go into now, but which lie at the heart of the problems that we face today. Our journey to become an independent nation, carved out of something like 50 to 60 ethnicities. Asante, Achin, what is the various Guan formations, Ga, Ewe, you name it. This was a challenge to the Ghana project, and Nkrumah sought to build one nation out of these various ethnicities. And he himself came from a minority ethnic group, and so he chose the path of a detribalized youth. But by logic, that also posed was an existential threat to all the ethnic formations. I don't know if I'm making sense here.
Yes.
If you have, in any circumstance, it is the youth who will go to war, preserve the position of any ethnic state. And if Asante allowed Nkrumah to proceed along that quote-unquote dangerous path, that was the end of the kingdom and of their claims to what we now call Ghana. Because, we were marching to quote-unquote independence from the British. But independence from the British meant many things to various ethnicities and states. For Asante, it was about taking back their country. And their country was their whole empire. Right to the coast. So you remember this famous slogan, yes, this is mine. You do?
Yes.
Yes. So that was what it was about. So when Nkrumah in 1957 passed the law that made it illegal to form parties on an ethnic, regional, or sectarian basis, essentially forced all those parties, regional parties, sectarian parties, into the quote-unquote United Party. When the United Party was birthed in 1958 in Bukom, the NLM sent a delegation as observers. Are you following me?
Yes.
President Akufo-Addo was present at Bukom at the inaugural meeting that put together the United Party, but he was present as an observer because they had different issues from the various groupings that had been brought together in the United Party, and I can list them. You have the Gashifimopi as the Ghana nationalist movement, with people like the late Atokwashi and I believe the Isikwe, right? He's an he must be an elder in the NPP now. Then you have the Anglo youth. You have the Togoland Congress. You have the Muslim Association Party. You have the Northern People's Party. These are the foundation elements that went into the United Party, with the NLM as an observer. But starting from then, 1958, by 1962, the NLM had taken over the UP. And all these elements talking about, they have more or less been extinguished, haven't they? Haven't they?
Yes. All the others that joined the UP.
Yes, but they formed the UP.
Okay, they formed the UP, the NLM then took it over, because you said the NLM was there as an observer when it was being formed.
Yes, because they had a different agenda. For some people, independence meant joining a state of equal citizens, not subjects. For Asante, it was a different thing. It was about reclaiming the old empire. That would mean that some people will revert to vassals and some people will revert to slave people. I don't know whether you are getting my drift.
Yes. Doc, I'll be glad if you can then land where we are currently.
Very well. I needed to establish a foundation for what we are seeing. Because we are basically bringing up things that have been long dormant and overlooked. But we drive our politics today, and without understanding of these origins, we'll be lost. So basically, what you have had over time is this transfer. After the, you know that we went through a period of one-party state, right?
Yes.
All these things went into abeyance. And all these things I'm talking about have been continued since the restoration of multi-party civilian government, right? In 1992. You had a period between 1962, essentially, when the UP itself, I think, was proscribed. No, I don't know. I have to get my dates right. Either 64 or 62, when we became a one-party state. when the UP was proscribed. But it had a long period of abeyance and dormancy. And these issues I'm speaking to now have resurfaced from that time in our history. Because we've not paid attention to them. So Nana Addo's project, when he took over the party, was to maintain the Asante heart of what had become the NPP, but to create a new majority, a non-Ashanti majority in the party. That's the project that we have before us, which we can see in the shape and sponsorship of Dr. Bawumia, who intends to sit on his lap. So it will be, they say a can. That was the line of himself and his granduncle, Dankwa. They spoke about Akan. At some point, they're even talking about Ghana being named Akan land. No. So this is a castle, an almighty castle inside the NPP, between quote unquote the original owners of the party, Asante man, and a team cabal who want to create a different vehicle.
Where does
that's the castle that we are seeing shaping up right before our eyes.
Where does Alan withdrawing from the race then fit into that tussle?
Represent Asante man. Alan without knowledge and agreement of Asante man, I don't think so. And you see that this is no routine, what do we call it, disagreement. It goes right to the heart of the party, which is why they have suspended this exercise that they're about to do, which is what? Is it drawing of ballots? Drawing of ballots to determine who will be on the, what do you call it?
The position of the
yes.
of the various aspirants on the ballot paper. Yeah.
Precisely. It is a huge, and I don't know the first time I had all access to the media in the wake of this development. I don't know whether that also comes to your notice.
I missed that. You said.
I said the party has banned all the aspirants and their spokespersons from speaking to the media on this matter.
Really?
By the leader of the majority. With Alan's withdrawal, people will join the Bawumia campaign. It will become stronger. Well, you can only be joking. But it is a major matter. And you know what? I shouldn't run ahead of myself. We're in for a very interesting ride here on. I think we should all pay attention.
Doc, thank you. We have to leave it here.
Yeah.
Dr. David Pessey taking us through history. He's telling us that this is a bigger